Hi, what's up? It's Eugene here. Welcome back to another horrific video on my channel. In today's video, I will be providing you with a list of my top 5 best purchases in Red Dead Online. Now, this is coming from a PvP/PvE and grinding player. I spend most of my time grinding and occasionally engaging in PvP activity, so naturally my picks will cater to my playstyle. To my knowledge, that's also how most players play this game. I will not include purchases such as the Moonshine, Trader or Collector roles because they are clearly a must-buy anyways. This list is only about purchases that drastically improve your gameplay and efficiency in completing tasks, traveling and PvP. So without further ado, let's dive right into the good stuff. Now for my number 5 pick is the covered tent upgrade for your camp. This upgrade is somewhat expensive, but it is something I would recommend buying in the late game when you have spare cash. Now this plays a less significant role in my opinion compared to the other purchases I have further down the list, but what this tent essentially does is that it makes it so that whenever you load into a session, it restores your cores to 75%, and as a person who likes to save even the tiniest of expenses, has proven useful and convenient. It also increases your core regeneration whilst in camp by 50%, which is also useful as just a few minutes in camp can restore your cores all the way without using any provisions. Do not buy any other tent upgrades before this one, as they are a waste of money and you do not have to buy the previous tent upgrades to buy the covered tent. So my number 4 pick is the Navy Revolver. My opinion on this weapon may be a bit biased, but for a PvE and PvP player, this gun is just a beast. First of all, just look at the gun. Isn't that just an attractive looking gun? Quarantine really has got me looking at sexy guns in Red Dead Online. Now aesthetics aside, this gun also performs really well in battle as it kills most NPCs with 3 shots to the chest when it's fully cleaned and using normal cartridges. Compared to its closest competitor, the Schofields, it has higher damage and fire rates, but from my experience, slightly lower accuracy. But most of the time I just use painted black to mark headshots. This just outclasses all other revolvers in the game with the possible exception of the Navy Revolvers, which do have a higher ammo capacity, and it depends highly on your personal playstyle. The Navy Revolver is also decently priced, unlike the Mauser Pistols. 2 Navy Revolvers cost less than a single Mauser pistol, so I recommend everyone go get yourselves a pair. You'll not regret it. My number 3 pick is the Dynamite Arrows or the Express Explosive Bullet pamphlets. Now these pamphlets are rather expensive, costing nearly $1,000 each, and will probably dent your wallet for some time if you're a new player. But I recommend buying these pamphlets when you're near the end game and have most essentials purchased, or when they're on discount, especially when they're on discount. These pamphlets are definitely worth the money, trust me. However, you do need animal fat to craft the explosive bullets, so you do have to go out killing certain animals for it. My personal preference is to shoot a group of ducks sitting near bodies of water and skin them. You get animal fat from them. Dynamite arrows are easier to craft, requiring dynamite, which you can buy from fences, and flight feathers, which you can also get from skinning ducks. These 2 are the pamphlets that make it near impossible for a new player to stand a chance in PvP in free roam against high ranked players. Most people might see these pamphlets as cheap and ruin the balance of PvP. It does, but it's already in the game, so if you don't use it, others will. Express explosive bullets are extremely good for defending long distance trader deliveries, as you can shoot an approaching player and then would just fall off their horse, which is pretty hilarious, I guess. I've been attacked many times by players whilst doing a long distance delivery solo, and as long as they're not modding or using dynamite arrows, I just knock them off their horse with these explosive bullets. The dynamite arrow is amazing for killing players using tank builds, as they die in 1 to 2 shots from these. This is not by any means cheap in my opinion, as tank builds are extremely overpowered and take way too many shots to kill even with a max damage build. I recommend sporting the improved bow with dynamite arrows, as it increases your lock-on range with painted black, and it literally acts as a guided missile 1899 version, as it doesn't miss as long as you have them marked or unless there is something in the arrow's trajectory. This is also good for defending yourself against griefers and griefing other people, I guess, but like I said, if you don't use it, others will. The PvP in this game is already severely unbalanced, so I have no qualms about using these overpowered things, though it's still not as broken as PvP in GTA Online. Alright, we should probably move on before this video turns into a moral argument about using overpowered things in Rockstar's games. Now, my second best purchase is the Nakages Saddle. I know a lot of people have trouble pronouncing this word, but I don't really see the difficulty in this, at least I think I'm pronouncing it right. I love this saddle so much that I purchased 4 of them. There's nothing else to say about this saddle other than the fact that it is broken and overpowered compared to all other saddles. With the hooded stirrups upgrade, you'll pretty much never run out of stamina, even on the crappiest horses. It also increases your horse's speed significantly. This saddle simply renders horse tonics useless, as you'll never need any tonics to boost your horse's stamina. Even if you do burn through a lot of stamina on long rides, you can just press G on the PC to restore some stamina. I don't know what key this is on the console. This is definitely a must buy for all players. Don't even bother with any other saddles other than for cosmetics or whatever. Now for my number 1 purchase, it is the Painted Black 3 Deadeye card. Now this is highly subjective and depends heavily on your playstyle. Many players will probably disagree with me on this one, especially the noobs using tank builds. But as a mixed PvE and PvP player, it is the best purchase and the best Deadeye card. When in PvE, you just simply have to mark NPCs' heads and shoot. This makes PvE gunfight missions so much easier, as you can very easily take down multiple enemies. Not to mention that this Deadeye card also eliminates the bloom inaccuracy that all guns have when aiming down sights. This card is also useful in PvP, as mentioned before. It eliminates weapon bloom and can make even the most inaccurate weapons like the Litchfield Repeater and the double action revolver usable. The marking mechanic is equally useful against players when trying to make headshots. Unless of course they're noobs using tank builds, in which case no. But Dynamite Arrows paired with this card will still work wonders against these tank build noobs in free roam. Slippery Bastard users can be countered using a bow, or you can just scope in with a sniper rifle and have 100% accuracy on them. Is it the best card in PvP? No. But it is definitely a good card for a versatile playstyle, and in my opinion beats out the Slippery Bastard Deadeye card in PvP. Well, other than Slow and Steady. You know, the card for noobs who constantly chug tonics. Lastly, here are 2 purchases that didn't quite make the list, but I believe are still worth mentioning. Firstly, the hunting wagon, which is very useful for storing carcasses and legendary animal pelts for the trading raw materials, though you could do without it. Then we have the Mauser Pistols, which perform really well if you're using Painted Black. These pistols hold 10 rounds each and fire very quickly, but with rather poor accuracy, but using Painted Black helps with that problem. However, buying a pair of these will have the slight downside of setting you back $1,200. So if you haven't got that kind of money, then just buy the Navy Revolvers, which are way cheaper. It might actually be preferable depending on your playstyle. So that's all for my top purchases in Red Dead Online. I hope you all will consider my arguments for these purchases and try them out yourself. You'll not regret it, trust me. If you found this video helpful and informative, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Anyhow, that's all for the video. Thanks for watching.